everybody, Sunny in the City here, and I'm super excited. Listen, LL is joining me live here on Zoom. Okay, I see what you did there. Okay, I see what it had to happen, right? I love that.
At some point,
I love
yeah, at
that.
some point, yeah. Even
It's
that or
it's
just, have the crunchy lips and all that. That would be problematic.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me on Zoom. I want to talk about something really amazing that you are doing because it's this weekend here in DC,
Right.
and you are for the first time headlining a huge show, Rock the Bells with Live Nation. It's called The Force. Let's talk about that because this is the first time that you're headlining a big show like this in 30 years, which
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's just been a really long time since I've been on the road like this.
mhm,
And, you know, the 50th year of hip hop, us celebrating everything. I just felt like I owed the fans. They've been
mhm,
so supportive of my career over the years and have followed me in all the different areas that I traveled through. And I said, you know what, I got to get out here and give them a show. So I decided to just go on the road and really dig in and have some fun. So, and it kind of, the inspiration came, me and the Roots and all of us, we did a big show on the Grammys and we celebrated hip
mhm.
hop. And we just decided to take that concept, that idea, and just expand it and just go on the road. So now,
Yeah.
when people come down, they'll see myself and, Queen Latifah and Bone Thugs and Harmony and all of these groups. But the thing is, it's like one long show. It doesn't end.
Mhm.
There's no set changes. There's no stop downs. There's no breaks. It's like 3-4 hours of just straight hip hop. And it's just a lot of fun.
You actually like curated the whole thing, which is really impressive.
Yeah, yeah, myself and Questlove. I got to give Quest a lot
Yeah.
of credit for, just really putting a lot of work in. Together, we just, every city, the show's always different. Depending on who we bring in, there's always special surprise guests. It's just an amazing show. It really is. It's a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then coming to DC, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to DC. I always have amazing shows down in DC.
Yeah.
And it's been so long since I came down there and got busy. So it's going to be a lot of fun. DC's
It's
gonna
gonna
turn up. It's gonna be crazy.
yeah, it's happening, everybody, this Sunday at Capital One Arena. It's gonna be really great. We're looking forward to it. What so this entire year, obviously, it's been a huge celebration of 50 years of hip hop, and you obviously are a big part of that. You also have a book that just came out
Yeah.
that you're gonna do a signing here in DC. Well, let's talk about the book first because it's a collection of stories. Like, what made you put this together?
Well, when you look at the history of different genres of music, the stories are always convoluted and they always like
Mhm,
are all over the place. Um, and I didn't want it to become about like whoever. I didn't want recency bias to dictate who was going to
mhm,
be remembered in hip hop culture, right? Because they'll say, okay, who's been on the charts for the last 3 years, and that's all who people would talk about. So I went and got first person essays from everybody in hip hop
mhm,
since a lot of people in hip hop since its inception up to now, and not just rappers, but DJs and
mhm.
great b-boys, b-girls, and artists and photographers, and it's a first person essay. So in other words, like, you know, if we interviewed Dre is giving you, he wrote the essay himself, and Nas wrote the essay himself, and Flash wrote the essay himself, and they all
Mhm.
answered these questions themselves and tell everybody the story. So there's 2, 3, 4, 500 years from now, the narrative will be correct because this is all from the horse's mouth. This is how those
Mhm.
artists saw this genre and saw it unfold. So that's why I did
Yeah.
it. I wanted the story to be right. You know what I'm saying?
Now, while you were doing this, is there a story that you absolutely were shocked? Like you heard it for the first time. You're like, I can't believe this actually is a s- it is going to be in the book. Is there anything that shocked you that you heard for the first time?
I mean, it ain't the tabloids, you know what I mean? But you know what? You just got to check it out. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff in there like that. There's a
Yeah.
there's a lot of things in there that people didn't know. There's a lot of artists talking about all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's really worth
Yeah.
it. And the answer is yes, but I'm not going to say. I want people to check it out. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
They got to check it out. It's definitely that though. It's one of those books where, you know, you're going to want that on your coffee table 15, 20
Hmm.
years from now to be able to reference it, because you have some of the most dynamic, I mean, even from like artists like Mary J. Blige to,
Hmm.
like, I mean, all different parts of hip hop culture are represented in this book. It's the truth. Grandmaster
Yeah.
Flash. It's real. Yeah.
I have to read this. I need to figure
Gotta
out what
read it.
was going on.
No doubt.
You know, for me, I can say that I came to America when I was 13, right? And I didn't speak any English. And I used to listen to Biggie and Tupac, and I would write down the lyrics and translate. And I remember like that was the moment when I was like, what is this music? This is amazing. And like I fell in love with the storytelling and everything. And I want to know, is there a moment in your life when you really were like, oh, oh my God, this is what I get to do for a living, and this is what I'm gonna do. Like that moment when you realize you were so in love with it.
Well, I've been a fan of hip hop since the very inception.
Hmm.
I heard, the very first tapes that floated around New York City. And
Hmm.
incidentally, where'd you come from? Where
I'm from Bosnia.
from Bosnia? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So for me, I heard the first tapes like when Flash and the Furious Four, a lot of those early tapes, and then later
yeah.
on Harlem World tapes, and Cold Crush. So for me, it was I was in love with it from day one because I never heard guys like me sound so empowered.
Yeah.
There was a moment when I decided it's what I wanted to do permanently, like
Mhm.
where I transitioned, because I had been writing. I became a fan at 8 years old, right? So
Mhm.
the very early hip hop I was listening at 8. At 11 or 12, I started writing. There was one day I was walking in the hallway. I'd been writing for a couple of years. It was like 14. I was in junior high school, and or intermediate school, whatever you want to call it. And this guy was walking down the hallway all by himself, and he was
Mhm.
singing this Jimmy Spicer song. It was this little part of this song. It goes, "This DJ, he gets down mixing records while it goes round." And I remember just kind of watching him walk down the hall, and it was like it was happening in slow motion. And I just
Yeah.
watched him as he was diddy bopping down the hall. And I said, "Yo, that's what I want to do." And I
Yeah.
just, from that moment on, I decided to go and make a record. And one thing led to another, and I ended up, being a part of the birth of Def Jam, and
Mhm.
and the birth of that label and everything. But it all starts with that desire inside of you, right? Like you
Yeah.
came here, and you know, you fell in love with with those songs because they touched you, and you were kind of
Mhm.
learning the words and all that, and the rhythms were great, and
Yeah.
like that's how it's a soul thing, right? It
Yeah.
just touches your soul, and that's how I
Yeah.
felt. Same
Yeah.
way.
Love that. Love that. Now, so you're gonna be here on Thursday. You have the book signing. It's gonna be at the Mahogany Books, everybody, 5 to 7 p.m. at the National Harbor. The book's called The Streets Win 50 Years of Hip Hop. And then Sunday is the big show, of course,
Yeah,
Capital One Arena.
yeah.
But you are performing at Maryland's Governor Wes Moore's birthday party.
Well, I'll be there. I'll be
Oh,
there.
you'll be there.
I'm
Okay.
not performing at the
Okay.
party, but I'm definitely joining him and supporting him for his birthday.
Hmm.
And it's gonna be dope. D Nice will be DJing, and
Yeah.
Light will be performing, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that'll be
Yeah.
also real, real dope as we kind of just get in the zone, right? So I want to be
Yeah.
supportive of the governor. We had a great conversation, and I just want to help him celebrate his birthday and have some fun. I think it's cool. You know what I mean?
Listen, I already said he's going to be president one day. I'm saying that on record.
Yeah,
And
I definitely don't doubt it. I definitely don't doubt it. And
yes.
you know, I look forward to hanging out with him, and
Mhm.
I'm very supportive of what he's trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, before we go, our DJ here, DJ Iron, he says he wants to know, Q-Tip is producing your next album,
Yeah.
and he wants to know when is it going to be out?
He produced it. The album is complete, and
Okay.
we're working on the dates now. It'll either be, you know, potentially later this year or maybe early next. We'll see. But it's definitely completed, and it's coming out for real. And I'm just having a good time with that. I look forward to seeing how people respond to me doing new music after all this time. It's kind of like the tour, right? Like I hadn't done a tour in 30 years, and I
Hmm.
went on the road, and the tour blew up and all that. And now I look, the challenge is, okay, can I make music that impacts people and touches people now in a new era, and that's going to be like a great challenge for me. So I look forward to seeing how people respond to this art that we put together. I'm really feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're
You know,
gonna see.
I always say like, I feel like great music doesn't have an expiration date, and I do love the fact that after all these years you are still doing great things, especially in a genre where it's like there's always like if it's not the newest TikTok thing, then people forget. I just feel like great music does not expire.
Well, you got to be timeless, right? Like you
Yeah.
gotta, when I think about artists like Bruce Springsteen, and I think about artists like a little bit younger, but Bono, and I think about
Hmm.
even a little older, like Mick Jagger or Bob Dylan, you know, when you really love what you do and you do it from the heart, your fans grow with you and
Hmm.
they travel with you and they introduce your music and the idea of you as an artist to different generations. So for me, that's never been not even a remote issue. My thing is just the challenge of just creating something and wanting to give my fans something that they can really appreciate. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's the thing for me that I feel real good about. You know what I
Love
mean?
that.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of fun. I think
Yeah.
people, I'm really excited about this. The album, what Q-Tip did with me, the guests. I mean, it's crazy.
Describe it in one word before you go.
The force.
Or- Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Force. The force,
Thank
man.
you so much.
You're welcome. You're very
Thank
welcome.
you so much for joining me. Of course, you're in town Thursday. Friday is the book signing, and the big show is on Sunday. We look forward to seeing you here in DC.
I look forward to it. We're gonna get it. Let's get it. Say what up there. Hope everybody in Bosnia is good too. You know
Oh,
what I
wow.
mean? What up?
Thank you so much. Thank you so
All right.
much. We'll see you
All
this
right, Sudi.
weekend.
See you
Bye.
then. Peace.
Bye.